always sought mentors that have a lot of the same personal traits as I have. If you're going to learn from somebody, it's not just you can learn. You can always learn. You can learn a skill. You can learn science. You can learn something from somebody. But if you're going to work with somebody and use him as a mentor or learn something from him, you have to be somewhat the same kind of aggressive personalities, inquisitive personalities, strong personalities, people that will share what they know with you, then are as eager to teach it to you as you are as eager to learn. So somebody that's a little more complacent about how they teach won't get along with somebody that's a little more aggressive. So you seek out mentors that have the knowledge and skills and the professionalism qualities that you want to see. Go there.
I tell you, this is a big thing for me, because since I run a school, I feel a huge impetus to get this right. I see a lot of blind leading the blind. It's not uncommon in this industry, or in a lot of industries, in rodeo a lot. You see the guys that are average are really, really loud, and they're really loud about being average, and a lot of people listen to them. So you see a bull rider who does on his head 10 times, and there's 20 bull riders sitting around and trying to learn how to ride bulls from the wrong guy. You need to seek out people that are not only competent at providing the standard that you're trying to achieve, but able to teach it to you. I had some incredible mentors. Danny Ward, Frank Turley, Bob Marshall was unbelievable, Jim Keith. I mean, I really felt like I got to work with some of the very greats in this industry, and those guys, they were able to produce a standard. I was able to learn from them. And if you're going to learn this trade, if you're going to go out and get good at this trade, learn from somebody that's good at it. You know, hot shooting is a big example here. The very best in the world mostly hot shoot. You know, it's not saying that you can't shoot a horse pole and do a good job, but if you look at the guys at the World Championships, they got their hot shooting. The guys that got the CGF, they had to be that hot. Look at the guys that get their AW and their FW, they're all hot shooters. But yet you'll get it, well, but you still have to do the hot shooting, you know? And so but it's funny though, you'll get a guy that doesn't necessarily do things well, that's very loud about it, and yeah, you follow him.
Yeah, I was going to say I've been fortunate with my mentors. I think everybody says that when they've got somewhere, but I think the fact is they've found the mentors. You know, I was lucky that my father was a very good farrier, and you might say, well, everybody would say that about their father, but I can honestly say I think my uncles were just average, you know, they weren't bad farriers, but they were run of the mill. But my father was, in the days before farriers travelled, he was going off to Brazil and Turkey and Hong Kong, and so that was quite an inspiration that you could get that much out of just shooting horses. He put me with a guy, which is a good idea not to have your son directly with you at times. He put me with a guy, only 11 months, but he sent me with a guy who was a really good shoemaker. And we didn't have any chemistries. We had to hand make everything. So that was a skill that was learned, not just in the way that some guys do now, where they put one shoe in the fire, or sometimes they even put two in. You know, we were having to turn out a dozen shoes an hour. You had to get through shoes and learn how to make them. I then had Ron Ware, who was a mentor of mine, who was, in those days, very famous farrier. He was at the Animal Health Trust, which was one of the few places doing research in the horse's foot, along with Chris Collis there. So I was lucky with that I only had to drive 3 miles. I could go and see him. And then I got mentors really here in a way. I came over here to the States. I used to come over so often that I think some of the guys thought I lived here because they'd just meet me at a convention or something when they only met their other buddies from around the country. But I didn't live here, I just used to come here quite often, stayed with Dunlop for a week, stayed with Rick Redmond for a week, just, that was at the end of the 80s. And, so they were great mentors and still friends to this day. And I think the thing is, and the responsibility is that then when you get in a position, you have to mentor young farriers yourself. And you know, and you do need them. I sometimes say to them, you need to be keener on the job than I am. You know, in other words, I can't have all the enthusiasm for you learning skills. It's you that needs to have the enthusiasm, and then I'll try and match it. So I think that's a responsibility on all of us that have had good mentors and had good opportunities to try and repay that